right, this week, LeMoyne-Owen College will welcome its 14th president. The inauguration for Dr. Christopher B. Davis will be held on Friday.
And ahead of the inaugural events later this week, Dr. Davis joins us today on A Better Memphis. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, you actually came on as interim in July of 2024. So I'm curious, what does it mean now to be
the man?
The man.
The man. Well, in true Southern Black church tradition, I tell people we've been shacking, now we're going to get married.
Got it.
That's beautiful. You don't hear that from every college president. Well, so to change the subject, okay. Welcome to Holy Week.
There you go.
And congratulations on your appointment. And
Thank
it
you.
is Holy Week. And
Indeed.
the reason I'm mentioning that is because in addition to being president of LeMoyne-Owen College, Dr. Davis is the senior pastor at St. Paul Baptist Church, located at 2124 East Holmes Road. So you have a busy week ahead. You've got
Indeed.
the inauguration Friday, and you've got the you got to preach Sunday.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. So yeah, you've got a lot of writing to do.
Well, but here's the thing. In fact, someone mentioned that to me earlier today, and I really believe, Joe, that it is by divine design that the inauguration is on Good Friday. Of course, those who are part of the faith community knows that the world at that time thought it was all over on Good Friday. But of course, we know that it was just the beginning. And of course, there have been days in the history of LeMoyne-Owen when the obituary had been written, people thought it was all over. But we're trending in the right direction. We're in the midst of a resurgence, or maybe since it's close to Easter, I'll say resurrection.
Hello. Gotcha,
You've led a number of initiatives on campus as the leader of that institution. Share just a couple of them.
Well, we've done a number of things that we're excited about, of course, things that students don't see in terms of deferred maintenance, addressing some of the facilities. It's amazing what paint will do. So we've done quite a bit of painting. We've added the men's volleyball program. We're excited about that. They're winning. In fact, they're in conference play next week, so we're excited about that.
The Magicians.
The Magicians, that is us, that we're making magic. We've entered into a strategic partnership with Southwest to create a pathway, a seamless pathway for those students who are finishing associate degrees. We welcome new faculty. So we've introduced a number of new initiatives that we're really excited about.
Wonderful. And you were previously a leader and a teacher at Memphis Theological Seminary.
For 17 years.
Wow. Where you led a substantial growth in students. What lessons are you taking from that role to this new one?
I think the biggest thing is what we can never do, Kim, is lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, it's really about students.
Right.
If they don't come, if they're not engaged, we don't have a job to do.
What's the point, right?
Right. Well, in fact, of course, whenever you have an interim president or a new president, people are always concerned. You'll say, what's the plan? Did the board send him to clean house? Is he going to get rid of her? And I met with my executive team when I arrived there, and I said to them, I said, listen, I recognize some things are going to change. There are going to be some things that I'm going to do differently than previous administration. But as far as your job safety is concerned, here's what you need to know. The fastest way to lose your job at LeMoyne-Owen is to ever forget that we work for the students.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
And so you have created the new pathway from Southwest Tennessee,
absolutely.
and they're having their own graduation ceremonies not too long from now, and some of those young people will move on to LeMoyne.
I'm hoping a lot of them will move on to LeMoyne.
How easy have you made it?
Well, we've made it incredibly easy. In fact, Southwest is a SACS-accredited institution like LeMoyne-Owen College, which means we don't have to spend a lot of time vetting the classes, the syllabi, and so forth. If a student shows up at LeMoyne, degree-bearing from Southwest, all core requirements are done. They show up day one, focusing on their major. So we've got a 2-year track to complete the baccalaureate degree. And we've set aside scholarship dollars specifically for graduates of Southwest.
Nice. Very nice.
That's so great. I got to speak at their commencement a number of years ago, and the place was packed. And I realized for many of these students, this is going to be the highest degree they reach.
Absolutely.
And so many families were cheering and celebrating that fact. But the fact that LeMoyne-Owen has had the foresight and far-sighted vision to have this additional opportunity, that's just
amazing.
a great thing.
Well, and I tell you, one of the big things, people ask me, so, what's the big initiative? What are you hoping to accomplish during your tenure? And I've said to people, new buildings, new space, all of those things are well and good, and we certainly hope we'll get to do some of that. But the real focus of my tenure at LeMoyne-Owen is going to be, I want to be able to announce that every student who graduates from LeMoyne-Owen College graduates debt-free. Because what good is it for a student to walk through a $50 million building and they've got $50,000 worth of debt when they walk away? So if we're serious about growing the middle class here in Memphis, keeping some of our best and brightest right here in the city, what better way to do it than to be able to say, if you stay home and go to LeMoyne, you graduate debt-free.
And I just have to say, LeMoyne-Owen has a lot of history. Fifth oldest
HBCU in the nation. That's right.
Yes, and the only HBCU in Memphis.
And right, and here's the spin on that, Kim. Of course, that's what we like to say. Memphis is only HBCU, but I want to change that.
Okay.
To Memphis is HBCU.
Gotcha.
If U of M is the city's university, we want to be the city's HBCU.
All right. Well, Dr. Christopher B. Davis, senior pastor at St. Paul Baptist Church, president of LeMoyne-Owen College, officially inaugurated on Good Friday, preaching on Sunday at St. Paul. Thank you so much for being our guest, and we hope you come back to better Memphis many times.
I'll hold you to it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right.